us. It's an intermittent problem. The unit goes out, flashes, 2 flashes down there, and he turns it off and turns it back on, and it's an intermittent problem. It runs for 2 or 3 days, and then it does this again, and the igniter will try to come on, and then just before it lights, it'll go out. So I'm thinking pressure switch, intermittent pressure switch problem, but I'm trying to find the book. Let's see what this says. Service facts. Right there, this thing, 2 flashes. Right there. System lockout exceeded retries. So anyway, train XR80 furnace. So I turned the gas off for a few minutes to let everything cool down. Turn the power off since the thermostat is upstairs and I'm in a little basement area down here. I'm just going to disconnect W1 from the board so I can kind of simulate the thermostat calling and not calling. Get some light in here. Yeah, let's see what we're looking at right there. This thing. This door off. So he says the igniter will come on, and he says it's been running now since 9 o'clock this morning. Perfectly fine. He says the igniter will come on, and just before it should open the valve, the igniter goes back out. So I'm thinking maybe we're having an issue with the pressure switch dropping out, but I'm gonna see if I can simulate this. So I need to give me a zip tie and put around that door switch. And we're going to turn it back on. I should get a call from the thermostat. And then at that point, if I need to start it and stop it and restart it, I'll just disconnect it from W right there. That's typically what I'll do to simulate a thermostat satisfying and not. But anyway, let's turn it on and see what happens. And I may have to get my manometer, see what my draft is across that switch. We'll check the flame sensor on it and see what kind of power we're getting back from that flame sensor when it gets hot. See if it needs to be cleaned. Oh yeah, alright, and if I turn the gas back on, so let's start it over again. Instead of waiting for that long delay for trains to retry. So, board's clicking. Draft motor. Igniter. Let's see what happens. A little bit of flame right there, but not a whole lot. So may have an issue with the gas valve. Let me see what kind of voltage I'm getting to that valve when it tries to start. Alright, so I got my meter and I've got my alligator clips hooked across my gas valve there. We'll see what kind of voltage we're getting on this valve when that thing tries to start. It's our igniter. And then we'll see what happens when that valve signal clicks. 26 volts. But we're not getting whole lot of flame on that. I'll try it one more time, and then I'm gonna condemn this gas valve and see if we can replace that. There's our igniter, and let's wait for our click on our valve. We should get 26 volts. There we go, 26 volts. And we have a little bit, this time it lit. So yeah, we got a problem with this gas valve. That's what our issue is. There we go. That was an easy one to figure out. So let's get a gas valve. So one more thing I wanted to do real quick is double check my inlet pressure, which is right at 8, which is plenty for obviously natural gas. Alright, that was Joe sneaking in the back door with the guy that lives here, and he's got this guy that lives down and watches everything, and he's eyeballing and everything. Anyway, there we are. We are going to replace this gas valve real quick. Check the inlet pressure, it was good. My outlet pressure, when it came on, would start at 1 and gradually creep up to about 2.5 and then drop down to 2. And tried adjusting it, it wouldn't adjust. So we're going to put a new gas valve in it. Alright, let's get this valve out of here. Luckily there's a union over here. And hopefully I can get to it to turn it the right way. Putting it back on might be a pain in the butt. Let's find out. Yep. It came loose pretty good. We're trying to find a place to balance things. It's kind of tight in here, guys. So let me get these off. Yeah, I'm gonna get this limit switch, a rollout switch, out of the way temporarily. Alrighty. So, I'm trying to find a good place to put this thing where it'll sit up. Maybe that'll hold steady as long as I don't bump anything. But anyway, let's get this valve apart. Like I said, I think in a tool review thing I did something about these pipe wrenches. I've had these things for 20 years. Just cheap old task force pipe wrenches. And they've always worked good. Now this valve's been in here for 18 years. We'll see. Get this screwed off. got that out. Now, get this pipe off of the old valve. So you gotta come from the bottom. Now that don't want to come loose. There we go. So whoever put that in, put it in until it didn't want to damn turn anymore. You don't have to run it all the way in until it absolutely stops and won't turn anymore. Just get it good and tight and snug. And you shouldn't have any problems with any leaks. So I'll get that out of the way. And, alright, I'm just going to go back with this old single stage White Rogers valve. It's a little bit shorter, but I got enough play in the valve. Obviously, if you look at it, it's a little shorter than that one, but I've got enough play in that line to bring it in to meet this valve, so we will be perfectly fine. And if you didn't know, there's arrows on the back of the valve that tell you direction of gas flow. So this is my inlet, this is my outlet, so this pipe will go back here. Some pipe dope. And if anybody's ever used that yellow crap, it turns into, it's like watery mustard. Drips everywhere, runs everywhere, makes a daggone mess. I can't stand it, I don't use it. That works just fine. So the direction of airflow this way, this is my inlet pipe. Get that on there. Get that snug. And then this time, I'm just going to grab my cobras and grab that thing and then turn this pipe so I get it right where I need it. Like I said, you don't have to run it all the way back in until it damn won't turn anymore. That's good right there. Manifold pipe out. Get it painted up real good. And you don't have to put a lot of this stuff on there. Just enough. It acts just as much as a lubricant as it does a sealant, so anyway, we're done with that. Get this put back together. And obviously, when it's in this direction, so I want to make sure that this part of the valve is facing back away so you can look and see and adjust and check all the things. People, I've seen them put them in backwards where the thing's facing the inside of the furnace and you can't get to anything. So, alrighty, so we'll give it a few good turns. And then you get the mess all over you if you're not careful. He's adjusted about where I want him. way. This thing turned around. And here he comes.
That would also explain why it'll be operating normally, and then all of a sudden it'll shut off,
Mm-hmm.
and then it'll fire back up again,
Mm-hmm.
and then it would kick in. That's why he was convinced it was the fan.
Yeah, we'll get you squared away. Get this thing in here right.
All those burners good and clean.
Yeah, if you want a maintenance should have been done, I guess. If you do, you have a maintenance plan, and they would have been cleaned in.
Over here.
Alrighty. Get this roll-out switch mounted back in the right spot. Put that pipe back together. Luckily we had a union in here, so didn't have to break too much of the gas line down. Damn. A little bit more. There we go. All right. Let's go. See. 30 to 45 seconds, depending on the furnace.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, because what it wants to do is you don't want the blower to come on with cold air in the ductwork. So what happens is you want this thing comes on, it heats up, and then there's a time delay for the blower. Once everything heats up, it comes on and blows. Well, if it was never getting to where your flame was never getting sensed. Yeah. The flame was never getting sensed because it was never lighting. So I'm gonna let that run a minute. And I'm gonna cycle it on and off a few times. But it's lighting. It lit instantly that time. But we're gonna fire this thing off 2 or 3 times and make sure it does that every time. Good Lord, I'm glad he went back outside. Anyway, so we got gas pressure where it's supposed to be. This thing's lighting like it's supposed to. The gas valve was the problem. We got him fixed. And that's about it for this one. You guys have a good one. Have a Merry Christmas.